So, before I talk about the topics on today's episode, I want to thank all my listeners that have listened to all my podcasts and what I have to say. It doesn't matter if you're old or new to the podcast. I want to thank you right here, right now, for listening to what I have to say, and I really appreciate it. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the Star Wars plot leak for The Rise of Skywalker. Now, I know there's plenty of leaks, there's plenty of people saying, "Oh, I know info on The Rise of Skywalker." There are those people out there that make up things, but I truly believe that this leak for the person that was leaking other stuff was proven right. So I think you can trust specifically this source and this leak. Now, the leak that I am talking about is about how the new Sith Stormtroopers will kind of fall in line into the plot of the movie. So I'm gonna pull up the article or the leak right now, and basically the leak is telling where do the Sith Stormtroopers come from, why have they never entered the story, and why we never heard of them. So it's basically the Sith Stormtroopers were in the unknown regions. They were in the wilderness of space and just waiting to be found and to finish their mission. And so they were just trying to survive as long as possible in that unknown regions in the wilderness of space. But the one thing in that leak was all about Kylo Ren. I thought it was very interesting that he is trying to find a device called the Wayfinder. And this Wayfinder device will unlock Palpatine's legacy, it says. Now, this seems to me like this device could lead him to something that Palpatine does not want, specifically Ben Solo slash Kylo Ren, to find. Because it also says in the leak that there's something that Vader saved for his grandson, a inheritance that the leaker said for his grandson that Palpatine doesn't want him to have. So when we all take this all in, when we take in the Sith troopers, when we take in this Wayfinder device, and how I think that's going to be the MacGuffin, and also the inheritance that Vader left for his grandson. I think in some way these two things will bring Rey and Ben together to defeat Palpatine, and I think this inheritance will end Palpatine's contingency plan, or whatever the plan is with Palpatine in this movie, that they need to defeat him in some way, and the Wayfinder and whatever Vader left for Ben Solo will be the two keys that will ultimately defeat Palpatine. Because we all know that there has to be some way that Palpatine enters into this whole equation of bringing Rey and Ben together and defeating this big bad evil that is Palpatine. So, and also I think that these Sith Stormtroopers are 100% clones. I truly believe that. I believe that's how they're going to tie in the prequels as well, clones. And even Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens even mentioned clones. So I think these Sith Stormtroopers will be clones, and I think the white Stormtroopers will be, fighting the red Stormtroopers in, so just going out all out war. That's what I think. Because it only makes sense that clones, it would only make sense it would be clones. I just can't think of any other way to be in these rough wilderness of space and everything that is describing in the leak and how they could have survived. It has to be part of Palpatine. It has to be the clones. It has to be everything that Palpatine's Plan B. It really does. And it's just really intriguing of this Wayfinder being kind of a Pandora's box because it also said that he comes across a spider with an infant's head that acts like an oracle. And Kylo Ren thinks it can give him power, it can give him information. But also, there's kind of a 2020 effect that, yeah, you're going to get power, but you might release something that you do not want to release. So, at the end of the day, I truly think that the Sith Stormtroopers are clones and that they're going to face off with the White Stormtroopers, which I think the White Stormtroopers that we've seen with in the teaser trailer fighting alongside Ben, I think they're going to be on the good side. They're not going to be on the First Order or Palpatine side, but they're going to be fighting alongside Ben, Rey, the Resistance, and all of that to defeat Palpatine. And I truly believe whatever this inheritance Vader has given to Ben, that Vader has planned so far in advance by 30, 40 years. And he knew this would happen. I think that inheritance will be the key to the victory of the Resistance, to Ben and Rey coming together and settling their differences, and could be the starting point of them really mending their relationship. So I think that's what the MacGuffin could be. And it's really exciting if it goes down that way. And it actually makes perfect sense that those two things would be the MacGuffin of the movie and ever changing throughout the movie. And I'm excited to see if this is the path they're going because I think that could be really, really cool. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the excitement for The Rise of Skywalker is only building. We got D23 coming up, so we're going to get plenty of news and plenty of info on Rey and Kylo Ren. And I don't think we're going to get like info on Palpatine and anything like that. I think we have to wait till the first official trailer. But we got some things to look forward to, and it's pretty exciting. So, yeah, I think that's it on the Star Wars topic until anything else breaks. But I want to talk about a little bit of Spider-Man because I gave my spoiler-free review about Spider-Man Far From Home. So now it's been about a month. So I think it's good to get into full-on spoiler discussion and talk about the future of Spider-Man and Spider-Man in the MCU. So I think the first thing we have to start off at the mid-credit scene. For everyone that has seen Spider-Man Far From Home, you would understand why I have to start there. Because hey, we got J. Jonah Jameson in the MCU. He might have looked different, but hey, we got the Daily Bugle, we got J. Jonah Jameson, and that bomb that dropped revealing Spider-Man's identity. Because when you look back at the Infinity Saga, it started with Iron Man willingly revealing his identity. Then to close off that saga, Spider-Man identity is being revealed, which he does not want it to be revealed. So that has another Iron Man and Spider-Man kind of parallel, which I think it's pretty cool. I think that's awesome that Iron Man and Spider-Man have that same parallels to each other in this Infinity Saga. So, yeah, I think that's kind of the interesting thing going forward in the future of Spider-Man in this world of the MCU. You don't know what's next. You really don't. Because when you look at the trajectory of this movie, especially with the relationship of Mary Jane and Peter Parker. Peter Parker worked so hard to finally be with MJ. And when he finally got with MJ, and when he's finally happy, this bombshell dropped from Mysterio. And Mysterio's final trick that destroyed Peter at the end. Destroyed his secret identity and destroyed his intimate relationship with MJ. And also, you have to feel from MJ's part because she was the very few people that knew his identity. And I think for her, that was kind of special for her that she was the very few that knew. Now the whole world knows. And now MJ has to share the whole world with him. So I just think that is just so Spider-Man. It really is. absolutely so much like Spider-Man. That's the hardships of Peter Parker. And I think that was just an amazing way to end the movie with that big cliffhanger, with that big mid-credit scene. I think that was just incredibly way to end that movie with a question mark. And like I said in my spoiler-free review, I think Mysterio was done well, and I think my favorite scenes in the MCU, it could be my favorite villain scene in any Spider-Man movie, and how they did the Mysterio psychedelic, trippy, just freaking out Spider-Man into his illusions. That was so amazing. It gave me some Last Jedi vibes. If you know about that movie, of when Rey was in that cave and just going through some weird stuff, some weird force stuff. That was kind of like that, but just with a Spider-Man and Mysterio kind of twist. And I was like, am I watching The Last Jedi? Did they take some cues from Ryan Johnson? I'm going crazy here. But it was just so amazing. It really was. And there was some interviews going around that you will truly see Spider-Man becoming a man. And that's what happened. Spider-Man became that man. Spider-Man can be a hero all by himself. He doesn't need Iron Man. He doesn't need anyone to help him out. He is truly him, and he is the protector of New York. He is the people's hero. He is everything that New York's hero should be. And I think we're just starting off on to an amazing and an unpredictable roller coaster ride for Spider-Man 3. Now, what are they going to do? There's plenty of things they can do in Spider-Man 3. They can bring in Daredevil, Matt Murdock. They can bring in, because there was a time in the comics that Peter Parker was prosecuted and he needed a lawyer. Now, they might not do that because of the legal negotiations between Netflix, so they might not be able to use Matt Murdock. It'll be really close to when they can and cannot use him. But I think everybody wants Matt Murdock and Peter Parker to come face to face on screen. And hey, you could even use Wilson Fisk. That's a big possibility, along with Matt Murdock. Now, I don't think they're gonna be the same characters, the actors who play on Netflix. So I think it's gonna be like different actors. But if they can do that, that would be so exciting. To really cap off the high school trilogy of Spider-Man, because I believe that this trilogy will be all about high school, and I think the next trilogy will be all about his college years. Now, I don't know how much Peter Parker Spider-Man we're going to get in the MCU, but I think it's going to be a lot of Peter Parker. And I think when you get into those college years, you can go a lot darker. You can deal with issues that you can't deal with in high school, because right now Spider-Man is kind of a happy-go-lucky kind of character, that he doesn't have any darkness yet. But I think when he gets to college, you can start experimenting with that darkness, some dark issues. And I think Spider-Man 3 could hint that of what he's going to go through, especially when his identity is revealed. So there's a lot of things to be excited for Spider-Man, for the MCU, and just how they're going to deal with his story going forward. And whenever they release or announce the next Spider-Man 3, whenever they announce a day, I will be here and I will discuss all about it. So I cannot wait whenever Sony announce Spider-Man 3. So I think that's going to be all the topics I'm going to discuss on today's podcast. So I want to thank you for listening, and if you wanted to continue the discussion, like the podcast and go into comments. What do you think about the whole Kylo Ren and Vader inheritance kind of leak, and the stormtroopers being from the unknown regions. Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? Tell me your thoughts. So leave some comments. I'm very excited what all you have to say. So until then, I hope you have a great and wonderful day and week, and I'll be back next week. See you later.